Hey everybody out there, this is Seto Kaiba, and today for you guys, I'm going to be profiling for you a deck that is one of my favorite decks actually. I haven't profiled it for you guys in over a year, but I do love the deck very thoroughly, and it's pretty much, I guess you could say, showing that I really love dragons, I guess you could say. In Pokemon, I love dragons, as well as Yu-Gi-Oh! In Pokemon, my favorite dragons are pretty much Dragonite and Garchomp, and I mean, there's some other ones I love too, but I've always loved dragons, and it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Blue Eyes White Dragon, and my second favorite dragon right behind Blue Eyes is Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, which I'll show you very quickly here. This is Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, my ulti that I got recently. I found one finally for myself. It's a little bit damaged, but it's considered playable and lightly played. I asked a judge friend of mine when I took it to tournament recently just for fun. And I had a lot of fun playing with it. And this deck is really fun. I do love enjoying it. It's pretty much a dragon beatdown type of deck. It uses Solidarity and Royal Decree to pretty much lock out your opponent and have big dragon beat sticks on the board. But its main play is to go for Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, lock out your opponent from using their spell cards, and lock them out from their traps using Royal Decree. So that's the main focus of the deck, and then beating them down into a pulp by using big beat sticks, and going into synchro plays and exceed plays and fusion plays if you want to. So without further ado, guys, we'll get into the deck profile and I'll explain the deck. But this is one of my the decks that I've had for the longest time. I've had this deck for over, well, Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 and pretty much the 6 and the 4 all came out doing the, I guess you could say, it came out in Soul of the Duelist. So I guess I've had this deck for pretty much over, it's been over a decade I've had this deck and played this deck. But yeah, in different forms and different incarnations, that is. But I love the deck. So first off, we have a Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 4. This card's not the best card. It pretty much says that it can't change owners. So pretty much back in the day, you were worried about your snatch and steal, your brain controls, your creature swaps, your change of hearts, things of this nature, and this prevented it from changing control. But pretty much, he's not that good. If he destroys a monster, he levels up into level 6, and then level 6 levels up into level 8. But the thing is, however, that he is good, but when you get Solidarity out in the field, you can easily just run into something and get his effect off to go into level 6, then use level up and level up into level 8, or vice versa. But I do like him as a 1-up because he does come in handy for rank 4 plays, exceed plays, synchro plays, whatever, and he's just nice and gentle to have. The level 6 we have here is pretty much, I would say, honestly, is the best one out of the bunch. Next to Horus level 8, that is, who is the best. Pretty much he says he's unaffected by spell cards. So pretty much any things like Regeki and Dark Hole and whatnot do not affect him. He's unaffected by spell cards at all. He can't be touched. So he's really nice in that aspect. He has 2,300 attack, which is decent and respectable. You can easily bring him out, then use level up to go into level 8 very easily. Which is really nice to do because of a new card that came out about a year ago in Duelist Alliance called the Monarch Storm 4th. So you can go Monarch Storm 4th, go into this, level up, go into level 8, right off the bat, you're good to go with your level 8 out on the field and ready to rock and roll, baby. So I do like it as a 3-of because it's really consistent, really good, and it can single-handedly win you games sometimes, so I like that. While level 8, on the other hand, is really good here, and let's take all the level 6s away. I mean, you don't have to run 3 level 6s, but I like it for consistency and the ability to go into the level 8. And the ease of which you can bring level 6 out and just go straight into level 8. But Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 is really, really good. I'm going to zoom in here on this baby because I love him so much. But he's really, really good. He pretty much states that he can negate spell cards, and he can negate them. There's no discarding, no nothing. If your opponent activates 3 spell cards in a row, you can be like, negate that, negate that, negate that, negate that. It was powerful back in the day when spellbooks were around, more prevalent. I saw some people back in the day teching into level 6 with the level 8 so they can go for this card to not lock the opponents out in the spellbook mirror match, where the Dragon Rulers would lock the spellbook players out back in the day, but that was a couple years ago. I really love this card. I love his artwork as an ulti. He looks so beautiful. Looks so freaking badass. I really love him. But he's really good. You can run him as a 2-of, but he gets cloggy as a 2 of, so I just like running the 1 of. You can bring him back by using Divine Dragon Apocalypse. Pitch a card, bring him back, and then you can level up with the level 6 if something happens to him, so it's really good. Then we run 3 Alexandrite Dragon. Alexandrite Dragon is pretty much a beat stick for the deck. Like I said before, you do run Solidarity in the deck, so pretty much with Solidarity, he comes out as a 2,800 beat stick that can just run over things, which is really fun and cool to do. But he's also used for synchro and exceeds plays into your bigger dragons, so that's why we run him. 2 Delta Fly, excuse me. This is your main tuner of the deck that you can go into different combo plays and synchro plays in your extra deck here. Pretty much all things between 6s and 7s and 8s. Really good card. Then 2 Masked Dragon. I used to run 3 Masked Dragon as a staple, but I took the 1 Masked Dragon out and another card to replace with Keeper of the Shrine. And the reason is I like Keeper of the Shrine is pretty much he gives you a defensive wall. In normal decks, I would say, like Blue Eyes and whatnot, I would only run 1 Keeper of the Shrine, but I've been testing him out as a 2 of as of lately. And I really like him as a 2 of because you pretty much can special summon him. You can use him for tribute fodder in this deck, which you will do, believe it or not. You can use, and he just pretty much gives you a beat stick, which you can go, oh, okay, I got this back on the field because they destroyed a dragon. I normal summon the Delta Fly, go for a big synchro play. He's just so good and helps the deck out so much, go for different combo plays. It's really, really nice to have him in the deck. And I definitely like him as a 4 of. And plus that 2,100 defense does come in handy. The Masked Dragon can just pretty much mass search anything in your deck. But I do like him as a 2 of still. He really works well with, as I'll talk about later a little bit, he works well with this guy, Strong Wind Dragon. But I'll talk more about that later. But definitely I like 2 of this and 2 of this. I may go back to 3, but I like this as 2 and 2. Really comes in handy for searching and protection and whatnot, and synchro and combo plays. For your generics, I like the Lanceworm Dragon, the Blizzard Dragon, and your Divine Dragon Apocalypse. Like I stated about this card earlier, Divine Dragon Apocalypse. This card's good because you can get back your level 8 by pitching a card to the field. I really like it. I would rather run this instead of running this as a 2 of, because it gets cloggy as a 2 of. Level 8 does. So I just run the 1 of this and the 1 level 8 so I can recycle. It's very easy to do. Blizzard Dragon is just good. With Solidarity, he just becomes an even bigger beat stick, but he pretty much can lock you a certain card from attacking you if it's really a problem. Lanceworm Dragon in this deck is freaking amazing because he's a big piercer with Solidarity out in the field and can just wreak havoc when your opponent tries to curl up and go into defensive mode to protect themselves. So I definitely like the 1 Lanceworm. Next, I run for your tributes. I run the 1 Prime Material Dragon, the 1 Strong Wind Dragon, and the 1 Red MD. You have to keep in mind that we do run the Monarch Storm 4th, which is really nice, and we also run 3 tributes and Horus level 6. Okay, you can level up through level 4 over here, but you have your main tributes right here, your 3. So you have 3, 4, so you pretty much have 4 tributes. Red MD is a banishment tribute, pretty much you could say. And Strongwind Dragon's really good. With Solidarity in this deck, this guy gets just huge. I mean huge and big. I like him because you pretty much can have the Masked Dragon out in the field. You tribute the Masked Dragon, or any dragon. He gains half of that attack, plus he's already at 2,400 attack. Plus, if you have Solidarity out on the board, he's just bigger. And if you have multiple Solidarities because they stack, he's even a huge beat stick that can pierce. He's just gigantic. I really like him as a 1 of in the deck. It's really fun to get him off. The Prime Material Dragon is just nice for having for protections for your dragons in certain scenarios. So I do like him as a 1 of. You don't have to run him. I have thought about recently maybe dropping him for a different dragon, but I do like the 1 Prime Material Dragon. Or Prime Material Dragon. And the 1 Red MD. You run this in the deck because it's a dragon-based deck. You got to run it. This deck was really good back when this was at 3 for a while, but now he's at 1. It's still good, but I just wish he would go back to 3 so I could play this deck more aggro. But it's still good. I like the 1 Red MD. Then for your spell lineup, we run 3 Solidarities. This is the heart and soul of the deck. Its Solidarity stacks. Pretty much it states that when you have all of one attribute or type in your graveyard, excuse me, one type in your graveyard. So the entire main deck here, guys, and the entire extra deck is all dragons, so it doesn't matter. You're not going to have a problem with that. So Solidarity pretty much states that you gain 800 attack if this card's out in the field. All your dragons gain 800 attack, which is really nice. And it stacks as well. So if I have multiple Solidarities out, I gain 800, 800, and 800. So if I have two Solidarities out, I gain that one 800, and I gain another 800. And if I have 3 out, I gain 800, 800, 800. So I gain 3 800 attack boosts. And it's a continuous spell card that's really cool and really fun to play around with, and I really like it in the deck because my opponent's like, oh my gosh, I can't get over this 300 something dragon you got on the dang field. What am I supposed to do? And for some decks, it's really problematic to keep facing beat sticks after beat sticks after beat sticks, and they can't do a thing about it. So once this deck gets the ball rolling, it's good to go. So 3 Solidarities. Next, I run 3 Pile Dualities. I've thought about maybe dropping it or running 3 Upstart Goblins or something of that nature. But personally, as of right now, I like the 3 Pile Dualities for consistency. You really don't special summon in the deck except from the extra deck. And by using Horus level 8, there's no... Your deck is not completely focused on synchro summoning and doing special summoning plays. It can do it, and it's possible you can do it, but it's not integral part of the deck. Yes, you may have to wait a turn to get Horus level 8 out, but once you get a monster out, you just Pod Duality, look for some other cards that you can use to combat your opponent, and you're good to go. It's a 3 Pod Duality. I may drop it if I drop the Royal Decrees eventually to add more traps into the deck and use Safe Zone, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. 2 Monarchs to Storm Forth. Staple in this deck. It is definitely 100% staple now. This card helps you get those 4 tribute monsters you out. You really don't want to use it with Strong Wind Dragon because he won't get his bonus effect of getting half the attack of the monster you tribute it. But beside the fact of the matter is, well, it has to be a dragon type monster if I didn't mention for Strong Wind Dragon, but beside the point. Really, really good card. Quick play spell. It gets rid of problematic cards. It doesn't target. Great card overall. I really enjoy this card and I really like it overall. Then I run 2 Level Up. This is just a good, decent card. I wish they would make an upgraded version of this card for the deck to help it out, but I do like the 2 Level Up. Some people don't like running it in Horus decks, but I like it. And yes, this card works on Horus level 6. If I hear one person say that, I'm going to come in through the camera and slap you. I'm sorry, but I've played this deck long enough, and I've asked enough judges, and they all agree. This card can level up Horus level 6, even though Horus level 6 states that he cannot be, he can't be touched by spells. It does work for him, just so you guys know. So nobody freaking listen to my words, please. 2 MSTs. You can run Forbidden Lance, but I prefer MST in the deck in case I'm running against Floodgates or Fiendish Chains or whatever have you. The 2 MST do come in handy. For your 1-ofs, I won 1 Dragon's Mirror, really fun to run, the 1 Book of Moon, the 1 Gold Sarcophagus, the 1 Regeki, and the 1 Soul Charge. So Dragon's Mirror, because you run a whole bunch of dragons, and you can go for 5-headed God Dragon or First of the Dragons. So I do like the 1 Dragon's Mirror. Book of Moon, a good offensive and defensive power card. Gold Sarcophagus, a good card overall. Helps you search out for your Solidarities or your Royal Decrees, so you can set up your Horus the Black-Ringed Dragon Royal Decree lock and have big beat sticks on the field. Regeki, just clear the board, and Soul Charge for combo plays, which is really nice to have. So I do like the 1 Soul Charge in the deck, especially nowadays. It's coming more in handy, I find. And then for your trap lineup, we run 3 Royal Decrees. I will tell you, as of right now, I have been thinking of dropping the Royal Decree build and going for a safe zone with some traps. Probably the next time you see this deck, I'll probably profile that build, but only time will tell. Pretty much, I would replace the Royal Decrees with 2 safe zones so I could protect my Horus level 8. And then on top of that, what I would do probably is run some traps like Fiendish, Bottomless, Solemn Warning, maybe Solemn Scolding, I don't know yet. But yeah, it's something I'm thinking about and I'm playtesting, but it's still a work in progress online. some of you guys may see it in the live streams that I do on Twitch. I may be playing around with that build eventually, but yeah, just want to let you guys know that. But for right now, I run the old Horus the Black Flame Dragon with the Royal Decree lock for the moment being. So I do run that. For your extra deck, guys, which is really fun, we run the 5-headed God Dragon and First of the Dragons, because you run your Vanillas and Alexandrite Dragons, so it works fine. So your 5-headed God Dragon and your First of the Dragons. Then we run for your Exceeds, your number 17 Leviathan Dragon, your Heartland Drago, your Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, and your Queen Dragon's Daijin, which is actually not a bad card. So this card, sometimes you go into, this card can win you games, especially with Solidarity out in the field. This card is just stupid with Solidarity on the field, and this card comes in handy sometimes. This card can OTK your opponents with Solidarity. I'm not joking. Really good card. Next we have for your level 6s, your Iron Chain Dragon and your Red Wyvern. Red Wyvern's the main one I go for nowadays, but this card, Iron Chain Dragon, sometimes you do go for, but this is the main one I go for. For your 7s, you run Exploder Dragon Wing, which is actually not a bad card. Black Rose Dragon, Black Moonlight Dragon, Clear Wing Synchro Dragon are your level 7s. The main ones I go for are Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, followed by Exploder Dragon, which we sometimes go into. But these are your main cards right here: Clear Wing, Black Rose, Black Moonlight, Black Rose, Exploder Wing Dragon. Next up, we run Scrap Dragon for your level 8s, your Stardust Spark Dragon, and your Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, which is an amazing card that can pretty much do amazing things. Stardust Spark Dragon just comes in handy for protection, especially against Horus level 8. Scrap Dragon, pop your dragons, your Keeper of the Shrines, maybe. A whole bunch of cool things you can do with Scrap Dragon. But yeah, that is the deck, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. I really had fun profiling this deck. I've been wanting to profile this deck for a while, but I said, you know what, I'll wait for you know, the set with Scarlight coming out, and then I'll profile it for you guys, because I wanted to wait for all the new dragons. Because if you know, in the last year, pretty much since I profiled this, we've had Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, Scarlight, Red Wyvern. The extra deck really helped the deck out. With the more new aged Synchros and Exceeds dragons we got now, and with new cards like Storming and pretty much Keeper of the Shrine, made the deck a little bit better. In the main deck, I really enjoy the deck, but like I said, I'm going to be still playing out with replacing the Warrior Decrees with traps maybe, and to stop monster effects, because the deck can easily deal with spells and traps a lot, but because traps are not becoming as prevalent at the moment, but possibly in the future I may just switch over to traps, just keeping the Royal Decrees. But it's a fun deck to play around with. I do love my dragons, and I do love playing with it. And go Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, and I hope Konami eventually makes level support like I've talked to you guys about recently and whatnot, but only time will tell. And until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and go Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 in negating spells. I'm not joking, guys. I love this card to death. It's my second favorite dragon of all time, right behind Blue Eyes White Dragon. But yeah, I do love Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, and I've been playing this deck for years. So until next time, guys, take care, everybody, and good luck dueling to all of you. Seto Kaiba, I'm out of here. Till next time, and good luck dueling to everybody out there. Take care, everybody.